So we are going to continue with the presentations that we have. We are group number 7. Okay, so first of all, we are going to present the translation tips, and the second topic is about the error translation. Okay, so as you know, translation is not an easy thing because it is not just a matter of changing words. Okay, sometimes you can translate literally, but others not. Why? Because some phrases cannot be translated on that way, so they cannot have sense. Okay? So, some factors that you have to pay attention and to keep in mind are the following. First of all, you have to concentrate on the genre and on the style. Remember that we have letters, some of them are formal or informal, and so on. Okay? Also, you have to pay attention to the translator competence. Okay? And finally, you have the time that you can take to translate the text. Then some translation tips. Okay, so the tips that you can find can be online, and also you can have your own tips. Okay, so you can trust on the methods and all the techniques that the translator wants. So it depends on the translator. Also, you have translator tips for oral and written translation as well. Okay, so let's talk about first the oral translation tips. So, for example, when you have to interpret, okay, so this kind of translation is simultaneous and it is often the most difficult, okay. So, in order to achieve good results on this type of translation, you have to be aware and to have a lot of knowledge about several areas, okay. Also, you have to be critical and you have to analyze well what you are translating. What else? You have to note or identify the key elements while you are translating. And also, you have, as a translator, you must have a quick reaction, okay, because you are interpreting. You have to have a clear articulation, pronounce the word correctly, and all of that things. And also you have to have a bright mind, so you have to think quickly. Okay? So the tips that we have for the oral translation are the following. Remember that we have the interpret. Okay? So the first one is, in advance, get familiar with the topic of the speech. Okay? So remember that we have several topics, so you have to have knowledge of that topic of the speech that you are translating. What else? You have to note down the main points. So try to write the key points that you find while you are interpreting. You have to translate and clarify the meaning. As I said before, remember that translation is not just translating the words, but you have to convey the exact meaning of the translation. You have to establish a good relationship between the author of the translation and also the one that is translating at the front. What else? You have to remember to pronounce the word clearly. Since you are interpreting, so you have to be really clear in the pronunciation that you have. At the end, it is common to give a brief summary of the whole speech. Okay, so it can be done at the end. As I said before, since you are interpreting the text, you have to react quickly, and obviously, what you will find here is that you have to work under pressure. Okay. Whereas you have to enjoy your job, because maybe it could be just the first time you are gonna do it, and even it could be the last. And also you have to transmit the clear message, okay? Then we have the second type of translation that is written, okay? So obviously it is different from the oral translation. In here you don't have to react or act quickly. You can take your time. You can choose a good variant depending on you. You can find synonyms, antonyms, and all of the stuff that you want, okay? Whereas you can use a dictionary, and also you can change the translation word with a specialist or someone who can help you, okay? Whereas remember that you have to convey the meaning here as well, and also you have to be accurate and have and pay attention to the sense that the text has. So in here we have translate, okay? So first of all, you have to translate meaning, not words, okay? Then you have to rely on your wits and savvy, so you have to rely on yourself, on what you think, and all of those things. Whereas you have to ask a specialist to check, to review the grammar, or if something is not correct. Something important to keep in mind here is that you never have to accept a project in which you are not prepared. Okay, so if you think that you are not ready, you don't have the enough abilities to translate this kind of project or the text, so it's better not to accept it. Remember that the skills and expertise come with time. Don't get frustrated if sometimes you cannot translate quickly because it's a matter of time. Okay. Then we have pay attention to the language implications matters. Syntax, morphology, and all of those things. Remember that a good translation takes time. As I said before, don't go and just translate in 5 minutes and that's it. You have to take your time, read it, proofread until you have the final job. Then you have the organization of the document is different. For example, you translate a document that is from an author that is from the United States. So the organization of the document is going to be different if you translate to another person. And finally, you have to emulate the original text. I mean that you have to be similar to the text that the original author provides to you. So if the text is humorous, the translation is going to be on that way too. If the original text has colloquial language, you have to use it too. If the text is scientific, so the text must be scientific as well. Okay, so.
Okay, the next topic is the art of translation. Translation is an art, not a science. So, if you know about how often to edit your English documents before producing it, for example, you never will ask a reviewer if the translation, if he likes the translation. And also, a good translation. It's not necessary a good translator is an native speaker. For example, a good translator needs to follow these steps. Make sure that your text is clear and accurate. The next, try to avoid cultural expressions that are understood only in the United States. If a text is unclear, you have to first review, revise, and edit. The next, to provide background material possible, including company information and technical information. Be sure to provide the address of your website for reference. Here in this step, to help ensure that the translator have to follow this step in order to help you, the reviewer has understood the meaning of how actually communicates. And also, the reviewer should be a native speaker but technical product knowledge.
Okay, now in order to translate in a good and appropriate way, we have three main topics that are very practical tips. These topics have changed the world of the translation industry because of the quality that it offers and also time and results, of course. These three main topics are internet, translation software, and translation memory. Okay, with internet we can market or we can reach to every client that we can want around the world. With internet we can work with online translators, and it also helps us to save money, to save time, and to improve the quality of our works, also the price. Translation software. Okay, with translation software, it provides to the translator and to the client electronic file in which the software can translate automatically. However, the person that is translated has to make a fair amount of editing and proofreading in order to make sense to the translation. And also the translation with this software can give and 85% of accuracy. Okay. Now, translation memory. Okay, with translation memory, glossaries are relying on a memory that are consistent in terminology and style. It serves in order to create a database on a computer for materials and also for equivalence to English to the foreign language, because in that way each sentence can have an equivalent from the English to the foreign language. It avoids to the person the need to retranslate again, and it can save money and time to the client. Also, it helps to improve the quality. Okay. What is helpful to these resources is to have a good kind of glossaries, reference material, and also language. The correct use of language is, it has to be appropriate in order to have a translation with a lot of sense.